Even botnets get hacked.
Stan, I understand you have an interesting story for us today.
Yes, it's a story about a botnet that was hijacked to replace pieces of the malware with humorous GIFs or GIFs. I'm not sure how you pronounce it correctly. So what happened? So there's some security researchers who observed that for the Emotet botnet, usually it's the botnet where you get like emails that ask you to click on a link or open up a Word document, and usually get some sort of like a malware sample out of that. So they noticed that clicking on some of those URLs that you would normally get from the botnet, you actually, instead of getting the payload, you would get like a little, like a meme video about a hacker or something funny that looks awkward. So the security researchers, they looked at this a little bit more, and what they found is that in all of the daily campaigns, about a quarter of the campaigns had this behavior that basically someone was replacing the malware with these GIFs, and it was happening just a few minutes in between when the botnet was becoming operational. It's not known who is doing this, but it seems that it's a creative way to solve the I guess the botnet problem or all these I guess weekly spamming campaigns that happen. It's definitely humorous, but it opens up a few questions I'd love to hear your guys' feedback on about vigilantism, active defense, and other things where somebody might have decided to do this for good, but somebody else might come in and use a similar technique for something bad or malicious. So wondering what you guys think about this.
Well, it is really a little scary, honestly, that somebody honestly went, because you can imagine it's an opportunity to hijack the botnet, obviously, for, in this case, it's humor, but obviously it could be for other purposes as well. I think that there's a lot of boredom out there in the world today. People just don't have the normal outlet that they have, and so maybe just someone thought that this would be something somewhat amusing, but it does have some ramifications that are maybe upsetting.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not at least give some kudos to the hackerman picture that they're sending out? I mean, that picture with that mullet, that's classic. So, so yeah, major props to whoever picked out what pictures they were going to send out. And now you've got folks out there that are potentially, may have been fooled, so they were actually sent these payloads, whether it was an email or whatever. And now when they actually opened it up, instead of being, haunted by the fact that they may have clicked something and now their files may have been encrypted and everything that we've seen that comes, the bad things that come with, getting fooled with malware, these people are happily at least presented some picture that they kind of chuckle about, and then probably wipe the sweat off their brow, realizing that they just escaped one, right? So that, to me, is the interesting part, is that there is somebody out there, and again, we call them a vigilante, or I don't know what we call these people, but we've seen it in the past in terms of these people who come out and decide, like, hey, you know what, I'm going to do something good here, and I'm gonna put this thing out here. I'm gonna completely rewrite this thing so that people, when they do get fooled by it, it actually doesn't do anything.
But I was like wondering, why 25%? Like, if you're going to be good, why not be all the way good? What was it about the other 75%? I also thought that was kind of an interesting
I feel like it has something to do with the way they're doing the replacement. So there's a couple of ways. So first of all, probably the visibility of like this vigilante into the botnet is probably limited to about 25% as compared to the researchers who discovered it. So they probably don't know all of the different places that they need to do the replacement. Maybe they only know about a quarter of them. I guess that would be one way. And the second way might be the technique they're using in order to do the replacement might have something to do with vulnerabilities on the website where they're doing the replacement. And perhaps only 25% of the websites are vulnerable in that way. I suspect that might be the real reason. I think this vigilante would want to do 100% of all of the campaigns rather than just a quarter. But it might be some technical limitations that they that they ran into that they prevented them from doing that. That's just my opinion. I'm not sure what the case is.
Well, interesting story, Stan. Thank you.
Yes.